Hello, we are bringing you a ship today, my subscribers. A ship I've wanted to bring you for a long time. Bajie, the Tier 9 Premium Japanese or Pan-Asian battleship, but still basically Japanese. It's basically a premium Azuma. Now, for the economic boost without the merit, sorry, it's not one show. 10% to credits, 105 to ship XP, 115 to commander XP, and then 150 with a clan. Armor-wise, 32mm bow, 32mm front deck, armor belt 356, plating on the side 32, upper deck armor at 57, and then the back is 32, with the stern being 32 also. Now, pulling away her torpedo protection is below the waterline. So we pull some of this armor away. We're going to show you her citadel as always. That's the citadel. It is above the waterline, but it's also a slight turtleback also. But again, way above the waterline, it can be hit. So don't expect to. If you get shot broadside by a Stalingrad, a Montana, Yamato, you're going to be hurting. But it is a good ship. Survivability-wise, 78,900. Torpedo reduction at 28%, not the best. This ship favors medium range. So that's what you want to be aiming for, is a medium range, to a close range when you can. Artillery-wise, she gets 9 410mm guns. Now, the reason it doesn't look much like an Azuma, but if you take off one of the skills, the reload skill for the 6th slot, this jumps up to about over 30 seconds for reload, which is pretty long. Now, this ship is, they consider it a better Azuma because it gets better accuracy, better range for a slightly longer reload. I don't feel like it's that bad, the reload. It's the accuracy that gives me the trouble. So, reload built into it at 28 seconds. Switch time 17 seconds. 180 is 52 seconds. So try not to be close quarters in this thing. You will die. Especially if you're going against battleships. You will die. So always pre-plan your attack. Max dispersion 248. Range 25.4. Max HE damage is 6,500. Max AP damage is 13,000. With fire chance being 30%, with a 68mm armor pin, velocity of 869, with the velocity of the AP being 870. Secondaries, you get 12 of these. Well, 12 157 5-inch guns. It gets 6-second reload, 7.4 range, 2100 max damage, 8% of fire. 21 armor pin, and, well, 725 for velocity. And then you get 155. Like, it's basically a Mogami 155 gun that you have stuck on the back. So, 12-second reload, 7.4 range, 2600 max damage, 10% of fire, 26 armor pin, and 925 velocity. Not the best. So, you'll probably see more usage out of these guys right here. Airstrike, 2 flights, 10-kilometer range, 4,200 max damage. You can fight subs. Just be wary and make sure that you have some cover when attacking them. Just be wary. We will be fighting subs in the replay, so we'll get to show you how to fight subs also. AA-wise, again, it's an Azuma, so it's all in the short range and medium. 24 single mount, 25 millimeters, 28 triple mount, 28 millimeters, and then she gets her 12 secondary guns. Damage wise, as stated, mostly in long range at 151, and then the short range at 291. Again, 2.5 for short range, 5.8 for long range. There's no medium AA in the ship. So again, you're going to struggle against planes. And they will strike you, and they will hurt. Again, it isn't Azumel. Azumel has never been the best at dealing with planes, even in RTS days. So you have to be wary of that. Maneuverability, not the best, but decent at 28 knots, 890 turning circles, so pretty large. 20-second rudder shift, not the best. Concealment at 13.5, again, not the best. There's a lot of downsides to the ship, but she is a decent ship if you want to spend the money to get her during the journey to the west. I've been after the ship for a long time, and I got her this last year, so I just wanted it just for probably some collector purposes, but I just bought it just because. So, riding to the equipment, main armaments 1, damage control 1, aiming systems, damage control 2, concealment, and then main battery mod 3. Always main battery mod 3. Absolutely. 5 charges of heal, 4 charges of spotter, or 4 charges of fire. So, depends on what you want. Again, if you get it during the Lunar New Year, you're going to get this spanking camo. I really do love the camo, though. The camo is a really beautiful camo. We'll give you a nice drive-by of it. Like, it is a very beautiful camo. I love, like, the turquoise aqua green. I really do love that color. It's such a beautiful color. And then the ornate design on the guns are beautiful. The art department did a phenomenal job. Phenomenal job. Let's give a hand to the art department as always. Now, for the build, since I am running the enhanced special captain, gun feeder, emergency repair specialist, gun feeder, emergency repair specialist, brisk, adrenaline rush, emergency repair expert, concealment expert, and fire prevention. For the last 2 points, since she doesn't take torps well, I would recommend probably putting torpedo protection damage on there. Or, vigilance. To increase it up to 35%. That's what I would do. Or, if you really wanted it, you could go with priority target or grease the gears. Grease the gears, that would lower it down to 43 seconds. So that would probably be the most logical thing. But ideally, it's really a user choice. Well, this is pretty much a 19-point build. The last 2 points are really user preference. But let's get into the replay, and we'll show you how Izumo, or Bajie, does it. Hello, and welcome to the Bajie review. Folks, now, what stands out about this, random match? What does it look like to you? Well, if you don't know, we're looking at a Q drop, or a Q dump. You've heard about them on the forums where you wait so long that the matchmaker literally just takes anything that's left and just dumps it into a match. That's what happened. So it's myself, Stalker, and his rubric, me and a Bajie, American Abinum, Buffalo York, Salmon, U39, or U190, Iowa, Roon, Mogador, Mahan, Salmon, and S189. They get the spotting advantage, but we get the cruiser advantage. So, on paper, it's pretty even. But in terms of skill levels, well, let's be honest. I think it rests on our side. Now, Bajie's ship I've been wanting to bring you guys for a long time. But this ship was not giving me any lift. And the one match that I did have that was really great and I could have get it out at least a few months sooner, my internet was so terrible that it would have been like little 3-minute segment, disconnect, 3-minute segment, disconnect. And I didn't feel like that was worthy of the channel. So,
Teammate,
even though I death struck a Marlboro and then just kept disconnecting, I didn't feel it was worthy. Iowa turns, we shoot a salvo at him. He's looking at us. And you can see the dispersion is beautiful. Now, the Iowa does have Halsey on, but we get a Citadel. We just turn in.
The ship is on fire.
He does about 5,000 to us with the fire. And I decided to just DCP it. Normally I don't, but I don't know why our York was so scared of, well, the Mahan. And that Iowa is waiting for us. He's waiting for us. He shoots armor piercing this time. The bad news is at that kind of range, the AP is not as good. Only 4,000. He did more damage with AP.
Enemy battleship detected.
And the York's heading to help the sub. The sub is literally the only thing there. There's a sub and a DD at, well, C. In the Iowas.
We've spotted an enemy submarine.
It's kind of hard to hit a sub when you're behind and you can't get a decent hit. So I take a pot shot and just try. I mean, what's the harm? One depth charge goes off. We get 2 incapacitations, a fire and a flood. So he has to DCP. He can't let that go repaired. He has no choice but to burn and repair. Maker's saying that's where the Iowa is.
Torpedoes, direct
Now, Merc was expecting Iowa to go to C. He didn't expect him to come right in his face. And our Hipper is, York is shooting AP at a DD. Don't ask me why, I don't know. Merc drops torps on the Iowa. He's gonna nail it pretty hard.
Torpedoes, dead ahead.
But the Iowa only took maybe like 1 to 2 torps. More than likely just 1. Again, that TD is so low. Looks like he took, what, 2 torps? Sub-surveillance picks up the Iowa. I put my shells on him. And we get 25k off. I honestly thought that sub would keep going, you know, straight, but I messed up. I mean, you could see it slowly turning, but I should have had that. I do take a blind shot. I mean, he was literally stationed right there. And 2 shells, Citadel, we pick him up. 69,000. And we pick up Strike Team. And now it's literally just peppering, just going after this, you know, sub. He's literally just stationed right in front of me. Sub surveillance and everything. He's on the surface. So he's not getting away. Be it splash damage, a fire, an incapacitation. He DCPs it. Our sub, thankfully next to us, pops his surveillance, so he's not going dark on us. We get a solid hit, flood and incapacitation. That's a permanent flood on him. And he can't do anything about being depth charged. He's at our mercy. So we're able to just pepper him to death with depth
Our
charge.
team has taken the lead.
Stalker picks up his close quarters on a sub. Oh, there it is. We pick up a flood and a fire on the DD, or the sub.
Concentrate fire on the enemy warship.
I get the damage on the Iowa, gives us high caliber. And the fire from the York picks up it. But we still did a decent amount to that sub.
Torpedoes to port. Torpedoes to port.
I should have aimed farther away.
Torpedoes to port.
Enemy destroyer sighted.
Attention.
But at
Reporting
this
target
point, you know,
position.
they haven't killed any of our team. We've killed 2 of their subs, their DD, and an IO. No one ever said Q dumps were fair. I mean, our division's having a phenomenal time. And their other IO goes down. They lost. Let's be honest. They lost 5 minutes ago when they lost the C cap and their Iowa died. Let's be honest.
Concentrate fire on the enemy warship.
And the Mogador is just kind of, you know, hightailing it around there. There's the Roon that's still out there. And you do notice that the Bajie has terrible, well, turret traverse. That's the one
victory is
downside of the
inside.
ship, is that the turret traverse is just bad. You get about 8,000 on that strike. And the reload, even though people say it's like 32 seconds, with the reload mod, it honestly goes down to a normal battleship. So it's not
Concentrate fire on the
horrendous.
target.
If anything, the only real downside about the ship is the turret traverse. I can see the room turning in, so I aim accordingly. Shoots me with HE, not really worried. And a double citadel. Well, one citadel and then solid pins for, well, 20,000. And yeah, the Roon's not having much fun in this match. He's playing like he should be doing, but and then he shoots AP at me. I don't really know why. I see him turning in. I am low, taking into account him turning behind the island. And we pick up the Roon
Enemy cruiser
for
foundered.
127k. And it's just the salmon and the DDs down there, just focusing that down that one sub. And then it's just the Mogador.
Spotter airborne.
The sub does kill the York. We put a salvo on the Mogador. We get about 4,000 on him. So 131,000. Pick up that kill. It's game over at this point. Stalker picks up close quarters and high caliber. So between that and the team, we've got, well, strike team, high caliber, and general offensive. And well, that sub's going down to the Baltimore. Or Buffalo, sorry. Buffalo. That's GG. And a Q dump in World of Warships.
Yeah, it was kind of fun.
Yeah, well,
That was fun.
We had to wait, but it wasn't a bad battle.
I mean, it was bad for the other team. I mean, we did phenomenal. But their team, not so much.
Their game wasn't very fun. I'll know that for sure.
And it's Lord's pick.
Stalker, aren't you working on a sub?
Yeah.
Pick your sub. We'll go 8.